Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Month on Espresso Live. How are you, Amir?
I'm good, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Uh, Today, this afternoon, we have two topics to discuss with you. So, we will talk about the tennis competition, which is Rolland Garros,
Yes, exactly. Our French Open for the English speakers.
and we will also talk about the football championship that is going to resume after a long month of pandemic and lockdown. And also, we will have an invited guest in the studio. It's Didier, the yoga instructor.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure a few of you knows him.
So we have Clement Mainguy. Clement Mainguy here with us. He's in United States, so he's in the Youngstown State University.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, we chose to interview him today because, as you said, Chris is going to be Rolland Garros this weekend. We'll talk a little bit about Rolland Garros after, but good afternoon, Clement, or should I say good evening?
Yes, good evening.
Thank you for being with us today. So we choose to interview you because you are at the moment studying, I think, international business at the Youngstown University in Ohio, USA. So for those who knows the US, tell me if I'm wrong, it's between Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Are you about? And and yes, and you set actually two schools records this year, which are no, actually no, you set two schools record, which are 27 overall singles win and 19 dual singles win. And you were named freshman of the year, and you were also you had a lot of winning with your team. So, can you tell us a little bit how do you feel about all this?
Well, I mean, it's really nice, to have records and to win. I was really happy, but to be honest, I didn't really know about the record until my coach told me after I did it. But the goal this season was to win the whole championship with the school, which we did. So since we won, I really didn't care about anything else, and I was really happy for the record because it shows that records come when you work hard and when you dedicate yourself to the sport and to your team. So I think it's nice, and especially for people back home in Vanuatu to see. I'm proud of myself and for everyone back home because it shows that everything's going well. My family saw that, they were proud of me, I think. And so it was really nice. I was happy, but the overall win with the team was what I really liked. But the record is also very nice. I actually received the trophies yesterday. So yeah, it's nice. I like it, but it's all about hard work and so yeah.
Well, congratulations also on the win for your team. As you said, it's like a hard work, sorry, to break all these records and to go and win this championship, sorry. So that's my next question. Is it hard to study and do some sports at this level for you?
I think it's hard. It's not an easy job. I organized myself well enough to be able to do both. And also the school has, at least the school that I'm in, they really support us. They give us a lot of help if we need, and there's a really good organization for us athletes here to succeed. But yes, it's tough. For last year when I first came, it was training every day, and then go to training every morning, then go to class, and then training again, and then at night you had to eat and do your homework, and that was like this for a whole week. So it's definitely not easy, but with the right organization and with the right people here to support you, I think it makes it easier. But I like it. I enjoy it. But I have to really focus to be able to do well.
Yeah, that's not an easy job. So, do you have any tips to manage to juggle between everything, or it's just a good management or a good organization?
Um, Honestly, I think if you, it's really about focusing on the right things when you're playing your sport and going to the gym or being your gym. You're focusing 100% of that. But then once you step off court or step off the gym, you just shift your focus back to the studies, and I think that that's the most important. As long as you're giving everything at the right thing at the good time, everything should work out. But if you're playing tennis and thinking about school, or being at school thinking about tennis, it won't work. So I think it's just about the focus but just about the focus, I think.
Nice. And so you're in America right now, as we mentioned. So how is it to live there and be a student in a university there?
I really like it. It's a great. It's the school has a lot. It has about 13,000 students. So honestly, the people at least at my school are really nice. I've met a lot of people, made a lot of friends. So the student life is very cool, and the teachers are nice and everything. The town that I'm in is not an amazing town. It's a pretty small town, but we can do a lot of stuff, and have good friends. My teammates are really amazing as well. So yeah, I really like life here, and it's very different than back in Vanuatu.
Yeah,
But
I can.
I adapted. Yes, I adapted well, and yeah, I really like it here.
Yeah, but like the weather, for example, must be really different. I hope it's
Yeah,
not too cold for you.
it's right now it's good. I'm in t-shirt, and right now it's about 20, maybe between 20 and 25 degrees during the day. But for example, from last November to March it was around 0 degrees every time. It was snowing, a lot of wind. Yeah, sometimes it went up, but most of it, there was snow everywhere for like months, and we had the big winter coats, and we had the hoodies on, and yes,
Oh my,
that was my life for like 4 months here.
that sounds awful. But you survived, so that's good.
Yes, I'm still alive.
Yeah, and cold is good for the blood circulation, apparently. So
Yeah, so it's good.
So, can you tell us who was your inspiration when you started playing? Like, who inspired
Inspiration when I was a kid. Do you mean?
you? Yeah, growing up,
Or
choosing to be a tennis player.
my I don't know, inspiration in maybe tennis wise, it was probably Cyril, my coach back home, because I've been with him since I was a kid, and I knew that he went to the States, and then he played a lot for Vanuatu and for Oceania, for the team. So I knew that he went good in this path, and I was kind of following it with all the tournaments and playing for Vanuatu at some point. I think that was my inspiration growing up. It wasn't like I wanted to be like him, but with what he did, it gave me an idea of what I could do and what would happen, like what I would do with this sport and with my life. So yeah, I think I would say Cyril, and then after when I'm older, like these past years of it's just there's hasn't really been inspiration. My goal was to succeed in school and in tennis, and I I think it's what I'm doing, or at least trying to do here. So yeah, that's about it.
great.
And also, I think you have some of your fellow teammates here who are now in Fiji.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Keanu and Zachary and Noah. So, if they're watching us right now, what encouragement can you tell them?
Well, I think it's the first tournament for about 2 years. So I was in that situation a bit less than a year ago. So it's not easy, but I mean, all the best for the guys. I'm sure they'll do good, but it's not easy, and you have to they'll have to understand that it's a process, and that it won't be easy at the start, but the tournament, and it will eventually be easier for them. But they can, as long as they enjoy themselves and enjoy being back on the court playing tournaments. I think it's the most important. But yeah, just enjoy yourself, and don't. There's no need to put on your shoulders a lot of pressure, because it's the first tournament after 2 years. So it's
Uh, so talking about also competitions, are there future competitions you are taking part in?
um, it's tough to play in school, to do competition at the same time. So when I'm in school, I only do Davis Cup twice. So I skipped school to play Davis Cup, which was last September, and then this March, I think, or February, March, yeah. So, but that was the only competitions that I did outside school. But otherwise, we play every weekend. We played every weekend here, and we train every day. So I didn't have time to do extra competitions.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We're going to talk about Roland Garros. Do you have any pronostic? Are you going to watch it?
I'll try to watch it and follow, because I have a bit of time now. If I think Alcaraz, his rising is doing good, and I think he'll go far in the tournament. I think that if he beats either Nadal or Djokovic, he'll probably be really confident to win a tournament. But I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be between Alcaraz and Djokovic, because Nadal was probably a bit injured. So it's out of these three.
Okay.
My goal is to Nadal to win, but if Alcaraz wins, I'm happy as well. So
Oh, nice.
that's what.
Yeah, he won the last Madrid tournament, so he's one of the favorites. A good choice.
And he's my age. He's also my age,
Oh,
a bit younger than me. So so yeah.
nice. Yeah, yeah, he's very young actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Clement, for being with us again, taking a bit of your time on your busy schedule. And
Thank
again, as you said, everyone is part of what you're doing right now. Everyone's part here. So good luck for the next, and see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
So, Roland Garros.
Yes, Roland Garros. So Clement give us his pronostics. So maybe if you have some, feel free to put it in the comments. But for those who don't know, Roland Garros is one of the four major championship tournaments over the year. We have the Australian Open that people might know more here. Roland Garros happened after. Then you have Wimbledon in England and the US Open. And if you win all of these four tournaments over the same year, you win what they call the Grand Slam. And it's like the major achievement for the tennis professional players. So, yeah, I hope that maybe Clement one day will win this, but it's a hard work, and he's working hard for it. The tournament was founded in 1891, and the court is made of clay. So it's one of the only major tournament made of clay. There is others, but it's on the ATP tour, Association of Tennis Professional. And yeah, so the particularity of the four major championship is that they are overseen by the International Tennis Federation, while the other tennis tournament that happens in the entire world are overseen by the ATP or the WTA, which is the Women's Tennis Association. And the tournament will start this Sunday, 22nd of May. And one last thing is that the French player Jo-Wilfried Tsonga is taking part of this tournament, but he's also going to retire. So we wish him the best for the next thing that's going to happen.
Yes, okay. So thank you for this useful information. So we'd like also to talk about the football game, the fixtures. So the championship is starting back this week. I think the first games will be tomorrow. There will be so, the standing first. So the standing for the Premier Division. Sorry, this was the division. So the first games will be on Saturday, 21st. So it will be Notified United versus Tafea. The game is at Corman Stadium at 11 o'clock. And then there will be Shepherds United versus Mawia at 1 o'clock at the Central Stadium. And at 3 o'clock, there will be Galaxy versus Erapor Golden Star. So there will be also for the first division and the second division. So we'll post all the standing on the page, so you can go and follow there. There will be the standing, and then also the next games. So the SOP for the games on Saturday. So the capacity of the stadium is 5,000. So they will only allow half of them. So there will be hand sanitizer or soap and to wash your hands at the gate. And also some competitions that should have started a while back in March and April were cancelled. So we are going straight on the second part of the season for the championship.
But it's resumed at the same as where it stopped, or?
Yes. So yeah, we were lucky because normally it would have been the Super Cup just after the first season, the first half of the season.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen, so now they're back on the second leg.
Okay. Well, at least no one is penalized by the stop.
Yes. So yeah, I think all the teams have already started training and prepared for the games to come. They are also the Premier Division are also playing to qualify for the OFC game.
Okay.
Yes, so the OFC game has been cancelled. I think it was 2 years now because of the pandemic. So they have started a new format, and the new format will be normally when it's the member, each champion of each member association will have a winner, and then they face off each other to have one winner to qualify for the OFC. But so last year it was Galaxy versus Ruwerwe in Santo, and now the format has changed because of the pandemic. So they will play home and away game versus each other. So they will play in June. The first game will be in Santo on the 18th June. So Galaxy will go play versus Ruwerwe, and on the next Saturday again, on the 25th, Ruwerwe will come and play in Port Vila. So as soon as we have updates, we'll let you know.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. So what are your pronostics for this one?
Oh, so I don't know if you know this, but I'm part of the media team of the Galaxy. So I went with them in Santo. So what I usually do is I do all the designs for social media, or sometimes when I have time, I do also the videos.
So you support the Galaxy. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, this is the Chelsea for the
We don't want any controversy here. We support everyone. Good luck to everyone.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
So on the next topic, we will have invited guest Didier, who is a yoga instructor here.
Yeah.
And so we'll just come back after a short commercial.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. So Didier just joined us, just appeared actually next to me.
So yeah, we're going to talk about sports and health.
And Didier is the yoga instructor.
That's right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I'm sorry for the long wait because you didn't see, guys, but he was waiting a little bit behind, so he was very patient. Thank you very much for that, Didier. So can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I've been here many years. I come from Canada and I moved to Vanuatu to work. I work as a lawyer. Sometimes I go to court, but most of the time I work in an office. And in my free time, one of my passions is yoga, practicing yoga, teaching yoga. As part of the small yoga community here in Port Vila.
Nice. So how long have you been teaching yoga?
Not that long, and it's something I really do once a week on average. So maybe 4 or 5 years. I've been teaching yoga and I'm practicing yoga for about 10 years now.
Okay. So it might be a stupid question, but what is yoga?
It's a great question, and I think because also it's not something that is very well known in Vanuatu. It's something that originates from India centuries ago and that grew into popularity in the rest of the world, especially in the last 40, 50 years. And it's only become mainstream, very popular in the last 10, 15 years. So it's very normal that a lot of people in Vanuatu don't know about yoga. I think what we see most of the time as being presented as yoga is some very sexy pictures of men, women showing off, Instagram kind of content. That's a little part of what yoga is, the physical practice of going into complicated poses and balancing and twisting the body. So that's one part of yoga, but a lot of the parts that we don't see is things like the practice of the mind and calming the mind, what we call a mindfulness, dealing with stress, for example. We've heard Clement talk about this focus outside of sport. Yeah. So yoga is also that. It's also the practice of the breath, of how to breathe properly in everyday life and in sports. So it's so much more, but obviously there's a big part of it is the physical practice, training the body to be balanced, to be calm, strong, and so on.
Nice. So is there different types of yoga?
Yes. So if we look at just this small physical practice of yoga, there's even a great deal of diversity in that practice. It can be a very slow, calm practice, even just lying down, similar to relaxation and meditation. Or it can be a very intense practice, very muscular, very demanding for the body, for the muscles, requiring a lot of practice, a lot of strength and balance. Some people even practice yoga in a heated room. We call this hot yoga. So there's a great deal of stuff in between as well that makes a bit of relaxation, a bit of intensity of physical effort.
Nice.
So if I am a yoga beginner, what style should I start?
I think most styles of yoga will be good for beginners. It's good to find a teacher, to find a group that practice yoga, and when you show up for the first time, you just let the teacher know that you're a beginner. There's always a way to adjust to make the practice of yoga available to everyone, whether you're a beginner, whether you're young, old, people with disability, with certain injuries. I think as soon as you can move and breathe, you can do yoga.
At your own level. Sorry, we were laughing because she was a nice. She laughed when the kids wanted to start yoga, and she just pictured him doing this. But that's one thing actually. When you come, like when you have beginners in your class, some people might be embarrassed or laugh. No?
Yeah, and that's part of yoga. That's part of I think beginning any activity, but particularly yoga. I think there's a lot of accepting yourself, accepting where you are today, tomorrow, and only practicing up to what you can do, your own level, your body today, what you're comfortable with.
Nice. And you were also talking maybe about a more intense practice of yoga.
Mm.
We were talking earlier about yoga and sports.
Mm.
So is it possible to do both, or like have a complementary practice of yoga as a stretching maybe, or?
Yes, I think it's very, very common for athletes and people who practice sports to want to counterbalance the intensity of training in sport versus probably the aspect of yoga that are about stretching the body, finding balance. If we take tennis that we just talked about as an example, people who play tennis will be on their feet, will use their legs a lot, and it's a sport where it's very one-sided. Someone is right-handed or left-handed, so they will work on one side of the body more than the other. So yoga can be helpful in finding that balance. If you know that you're working your right arm, right shoulder a lot more than the left, you will want to focus on developing strength on the left-hand side, and even just to notice that imbalance and to see where it can be improved. And it can also be useful in recovering from injuries.
Yeah.
Yoga is something that is low impact. It will not, create too much stress. So it allows some movement in the body without causing too much stress on joints, on muscles.
So how do I know that I'm doing things right?
I think that's why it's important to, in the beginning, to practice with someone who knows what they're doing and who can assist you. I think a lot of people nowadays will practice online, and there's great content online on YouTube and other specialized service. But I think the great thing as you begin is to practice with others. They can look at you, they can see where maybe your body needs to be aligned a different way so that you don't get into injuries or overstretch. But yeah, it's good to have a teacher to help you for that reason.
And at home, so if I'm doing it by myself at home, what equipment do I need?
You don't need much really. If you have a yoga mat, you can use a yoga mat, but any mat, any comfortable surface that you can lie on. You don't even need shoes. Ideally, you practice barefoot so you can feel your feet grounded on the floor. So just comfortable clothes, the same you would wear for any sport, that you can move your body comfortably. You're not going to be breaking down your pants as you stretch your legs or things like that. But yeah, just any comfortable clothes. You can practice outdoor on the grass, on a comfortable mat.
On the sauna, as you said.
in a hot room. Yeah.
So where are you doing your yoga class here?
So there's various locations. I think nowadays it's best to go on Facebook and to type Vanuatu Yoga. The group of people that I practice with and other teachers, we use a location on the Pango Road. There's other places around town, Tesuiki or Paul practice SAD area. But the best way is to go online, find Vanuatu Yoga and ask around, get directions. So easy to find it.
So on a weekly basis, how often should someone do practice?
I think it's good to start, and if you find the time every week, same time to do it weekly, that's good, and you will get a good level. I think after a few weeks, months. For those that want to really get into a more advanced kind of practice, then we're looking at 2-3 times a week for the muscles to really stretch and work on strength and balance. But any amount is good.
Yeah.
Have any more questions? So thank you, Didier.
My pleasure.
For coming here and answering to our questions. And I believe this is the end of Sports Live.
Yes. So this is the end. Thanks for following us this afternoon. So for those who are interested in yoga, we put down the links to the Facebook page and their contacts. Until then, see you next week.
Yes, see you next week, guys. Enjoy and do more sports.